just show up in the chat and join us there.
Board games, it's what we're going to play. Word games to enjoy your day. Word games, we play whatever. Word games to bring us together. Looking over there, and it's not a reflection of me, but it is Scott. Scott is from Canada. I got it right this time, but it doesn't matter too much because Scott forgives me when I get it wrong. And now I'm going to finish this song. Word games, is what we're going to play. Word games to enjoy the day. Hey! And
Awesome.
good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever it is, wherever people are. And I hope that everyone's having a decent time. So, yep, today is Tuesday. And as always, yeah, literally since over a year ago, I've missed maybe a couple of Tuesdays. We'll see how it goes like over by the end of August. The world is changing. You might keep doing it, we might not. But today I am playing with Scott, and we are playing NANO-MUCKELL and MICRO-MUCKELL. And hello again to you, Flo. It is lovely to see you. Thank you for joining in. And NANO-MUCKELL and MICRO-MUCKELL are really simple games. I hope that you are familiar with them. Let me actually put up the L deck really quickly. So this is the L deck. We will, for NANO-MUCKELL, be looking at 8 of the cards, trying to make an 8-letter word ideally. For MICRO-MUCKELL, we will have 16 of the cards, and the hypothetical maximum score is 16-letter words, which I can't imagine anyone ever getting. But yep, if you manage to get those two across 2 words, you've still done pretty gosh darn well. But however you do, we will get to that all in a while. It's basically about making lots of words and having 1 or 2 of them be super long. Anyway, so who are we? And Scott, what is Canada all about?
Good one. It's interesting. I could go into a long spiel there. It's really a bit more a boat than it is a boot due to the Canadian raising, in which the vowels, the O, the ow vowels change after voiceless obstruents. But that's a linguistics lesson. That's not necessarily why we're here, even though we're doing word games. But Canada's a really big place, so I can tell you in my local area, we're having strange weather. They've been telling us it's going to be raining the entire week, and it isn't, except when it is, for 10 minutes, and then the sun comes out. So it's very hard to predict this week, in spite of what the weather experts are telling us. It's very strange and unpredictable. So the only way you can tell what the weather is.
More about where you live in Canada, because I hear that the northern tip is much colder than the southern bit, which borders the USA.
Yes, it is. And I am very close to the southern border. I am in Mississauga, which is the largest city west of Toronto, which more people may have heard of than Toronto. So, about a 20-minute to half-hour drive west of Toronto. So pretty far south. We can drive into the US from here in under an hour.
And I hear these stories of people crossing the border just to get different styles of food or getting even cheap petrol. Or
not recently, but yeah, the idea of cross-border shopping because things are cheaper generally in the US.
Because of COVID, right?
Yeah. So lately, there's been a very little of that, but it is, I think, part of a Canadian culture. Those of us who live in the southern part of Canada to go on shopping trips for weekends into the US just to buy things because they're cheaper there. And depending on the economy and the dollar strength, there was a couple of years back when the Canadian dollar was actually higher value than the American dollar. So that put a huge switch on that, where that was no longer happening. And then American retailers were unhappy because they didn't get all their Canadian customers coming down for the weekend to buy all the things they normally would. So that's interesting.
So you are a teacher. You use games in the classroom, and we did meet at Meetup that we've talked about. And before we start, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Like, firstly, is there anything about yourself that you would like people to know? And secondly, what are some of the best properties of a board game for use in the classroom?
About me personally, nah. If people have questions, they can ask, but I can't think of anything that's interesting enough to volunteer it. The games you can use anything as long as you have a purpose. I think that's what it comes down to, is recognizing why you're using the game in the classroom, rather than let's put some games out to give the students something to do. But having a purpose behind it, being able to line up whatever skills are being used in the game with something you're doing in class, or being able to talk about in class. I did do some history. I did Academy Games War of 1812 and 1754 to line up with a history topic. Yeah.
Could explore that a wee bit, but first I want to acknowledge Runa, and I want to say thank you, Runa, for the raid. I want you to know it's appreciated. Maybe it's morning or bedtime. Either way, it's a meeting of minds. Today we're playing Micro and NANO-MUCKELL. This is a game that you might know well. You're making words on a bunch of lines, and the longer they are, the better you've done that time. And Runa, I want to know, how was your stream? I hope that everything seems like it's been going rather excellently, and I hope the feathers did not trigger too many allergies. So yes, Runa was doing some crafting today. Shout out to Runa. Let me do the shout out thing and let us know, how was your raid? And hello, Runa. Of course, hello, Kruby Letter. Thank you for popping in. And hello, Runa. Oh, I just noticed, have you changed your icon? And mask is done. Many congratulations to Runa, who's been making a mask. Runa Elinor. If you don't already know Runa, then please check them out on twitch.tv/Runa Elinor. Spelt that way. But yeah, it feels like what you're almost saying is that any game, like, look, not literally any game, but the vast majority of games could be used well in the classroom as long as you do it mindfully. It's all about the application rather than the game itself.
Absolutely. It doesn't have to be a game about the topic we're learning in class, because there's so many social aspects and just the thinking and the strategy and foresight that are required in a lot of games. I find that if you can harness that and just get students to think about their own thinking, right? Not just play the game, but play the game and then why did you do that? What elements of the game did you like and why did you like them? If you won, how did you win? What did you think was the strategy you used and why was it successful? So that way it's just a little less random. Oh, I moved some pieces and in the end I won. But just that mindfulness for themselves and what they're doing and what the outcomes were, I think is probably one of the most important aspects, rather than just topic related games to teach about whatever subject that you're doing at the time.
Having that post-game discussion and analysis. And Runa, who made a little design for a wax seal, that sounds fantastic and very exciting. And I'd like to ask everyone in the chat, do you feel like you've learned something in particular from games? Like, do you think that there's any game that you can point to and say, yes, I kind of learned this thing from it? And yeah, Runa says, making people think. Go you. I mean, that's what kind of teaching is all about, right? Kind of encouraging thoughts, encouraging reflection, encouraging introspection. I mean, as I look around board games, for sure, they encourage critical thinking. I think that it's difficult to point to any particular thing. Now, I mean, I could say, okay, there's a whole bunch of word games where I end up looking words in the middle of it and I learn new words, which is quite nice. And sometimes people on Twitter with the LDEC, they give new words that I've not even heard of. And I'm like, oh, Anfrost, Apparently, it's not a word according to Collins English Dictionary. It's not a word according to Merriam-Webster, but it is in the Scrabble Dictionary. So do we accept it as a word? Or, I mean, personally, I'm still inclined to say, if it's not in either of those two dictionaries, kind of, why are you even using it? But still, learning about this. And I talked earlier today about how Jungle Speed and Go, I believe, taught me empathy, like teaching me about how to teach people, how to keep the games fair. Runo says, I do still have some oversight when I do Rummikub, like learning about your own fallibility. That's, it makes sense. Also, Patchwork Doodle makes me be creative without allowing me to think about it. And that is oddly freeing sometimes. I guess when you've got the little designs on each of the different bits, yeah, that, because it doesn't matter. It's not what you're being marked against. It's not the point of it. Because it's actually a side venture, maybe the creativity is even more genuine. Do you have any key examples from your own childhood, Scott?
No, and I won't until the moment we're finished talking, when I'll suddenly think of several. But history games, a friend of mine is a big fan of history. We play a lot of historical games. He cites them as examples because frequently they have design notes and notes in the back of the rule book, which tell you about whatever historical event, usually wars, usually games of conflict, historical conflicts, but they actually list timelines and the people who are involved and the motivations and things. And it's almost like reading like in a textbook, except you're reading it as an add-on to wanting to play the game. So you get the context. So he said he learned a lot of history that way and developed a keen interest in history from reading the additional notes from rule books about historical conflict games.
I've really not played that many war games. I've read the rules to Britannia. I've never played it, but just reading the rules to Britannia, kind of learning about, okay, there were all these waves of people in Britain and how much of a weird island it was, which is something that...
Who they were, who their leaders are.
And also, thanks to the Zenobia Awards, pretty soon we might be getting more and more historical games that are nothing to do with military conflicts, which I think will teach us more about all sorts of points in history.
Yep.
And talking about being creative and maybe creativity as a side venture, it's almost more genuine. Runa says that's true. And also, when playing with others, there is hardly time to think about what to draw. And normally I overthink everything. I can totally understand that. I mean, I kind of need to get out of my own space. Sometimes I just be like, oh, whatever I do, it's good enough. It just needs to be even like 3 out of 10 is better than, even 2 out of 10 is better than stalling the game. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, you want to have some pride. You maybe don't want to do... but yeah, even if I'm just drawing something really quick, I want to have some pride about it. Anyway, for those who are still with us, I want to say, let's talk about the games that we're playing today. We're going to be playing NANO-MUCKELL, followed by MICRO-MUCKELL. And you have played both of these games, I believe, Scott. I am going to make the thing. Let's see if this works. So I'm going to make my bits of paper a little bit bigger and hopefully clear some space for cards to go here. We are going to be having 8 cards in order. This first game is going to be really quick. We will have 8 cards. You can use them to make any number of words. So in theory, you could, if they were all A's and I's and O's, you could make 8 one-letter words. That wouldn't score you very many points, though, because you do get 1 point per words that you manage to make, and you also manage to double the points garnered by one of the words. So that would, in theory, be 8 times 1 letter plus doubling 1 makes for 9 total points. Whereas if you did a 4-letter word as one of them, then you'd be doubling the 4-letter word, so that would be 12 points. And the perfect score is a single 8-letter word, which is made a little bit easier by the fact that you have 3 wildcards. So during the game, you can make 3 stars. Does that all make sense? And have I forgotten anything, Scott?
I don't think so. I think we're okay.
Okay, so these are the 8 cards. Put the rest of the deck away, and maybe let's put it that way. And we will start off. Remember, every word has to be written left to right. So the first letter you write on each line has to be the first letter of the word, second letter of the word, and so forth. If you make something that isn't a word, for example, M-O... Is MOX a word?
M-O-X?
Yes.
Yeah, not like Moxie, but just Mox.
Yeah. I don't think it's a spot.
Isn't it like a disease, the way you give you like little red pustules, except they're not really? It's or a mock pox. I guess that's not quite the same. Oh, you've disappeared. I can still see your cards. Oh, you're back.
I do apologize. And hello, Alex. It is lovely to have you. Thank you for joining us. You are just in time to play the start of the game. It was the Scott show, arguably, for a minute, but for no longer. I just clicked to make a new window, and I accidentally pressed the X because I wanted to check, is MOX a word? And MOX is indeed a blend of plutonium and uranium oxides.
Oh, good to know.
There you go. But imagine if you had trumpet. Actually, that's a pretty long word. If you had blow in, and then you couldn't get the G, and you'd already used all the other words, wild card, so you can't get that G, you could knock off the I and N from the end and just go with blow for that word. So you are allowed to shorten things from the end, but you try to avoid that. I think everyone's comfortable. So, Alex, we are about to start NANO-MUCKELL, and the first letter is either O or D. So the question is, which one are you going for, O or D? And I have made my choice.
I think more words probably start with a D than start with an O.
This is the thing, like starting with the vowel, it gives you choices because there's a whole bunch of cards, like half of them don't have a vowel on. But then, as you say, D is a more natural starting point. Alex isn't keen on this card at all. Oh dear.
No, he's making phrases. Oh dear, oh D. Yeah, I think I'm coming through your microphone as well.
Oh, whoops. I do apologize. I completely haven't even plugged myself. I've been wearing headphones but not plugged them in. Speak again now.
Is that better? Oh, it doesn't sound like it to me anymore.
Okay, great. Okay. Thank you for the tech support through that. I do massively appreciate it. And the second letter is R or L. So if you've got to D, there is only one real letter that you can choose here if you want to extend the first word. You could, of course, start a second word here if you wanted to, but that is up to you. And lots of love to you, to Runa. A or L. A or L. And I'm going to show my thing. I mean, after the D, it feels like all my choices have been forced by the card, but... And we're going... Okay, I feel like I know what I'm going for. And the question now is when you use those 3 wild cards. So, are you already liking this? Oh, hello. Are you going to start a new word? Are you going to draw a wild card? Have you decided?
Yep.
Did you go with the same?
Yeah, we're all the same so far. We're going to end up with exactly the same word.
T or H? And there are 3 cards after this one, T or H. So this is possibly the high point, or possibly not. A or G. This is a game that, yeah, I feel it's been quite nice to be able to play with my really small siblings, and because 8 letters isn't too challenging and they definitely feel a sense of accomplishment. And what I used to do with them sometimes is even say, okay, you're only 8 years old, you get 5 wild cards. So I'm thinking of drafting if I'm very fortunate with one of the next letters. O or F?
Oh.
O or F. So remember, O can be a 1-letter word.
Right. Or we throw that wild card on there and put it all on that last draw.
Are you exactly the same as me?
Yes.
So we are both hoping for a G at this point. Okay, R or S? R or H even? R or H? So this is where I really... I would say I really hate the previous decision, but I'm totally okay with it. Because, yeah, it does mean I can't actually think of a way to finish off with an R or H. And so I would have gotten 1 more point if I'd put the O here, because I would have had drafter, D-R-A-F-T-E-R, if I'd used this. But I would have been able to put the O there. Whereas now, nothing to do with it, so it just gets wasted.
Well, so I'll tell you, I did put the R on the end because I went with draftier.
Ah, gosh darn it.
Oh, and yeah, Alex said the same thing in the comments just now.
My gosh, this is why I've not been winning the word games recently. Because other people are just getting... maybe you're getting better at me, maybe you just always were better than me. It's when you start playing on the internet, it's all the word game aficionados come out. But congratulations. So that means that I personally get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is 14 for me. Whereas I guess Alex and Scott, with draftier, doubling the 8-letter words, that means that that's 16 points. And I assume no one else was playing along, but Alex says, if you think this is why, then that might be the problem. Yeah, the wild cards kind of definitely give you a new way of thinking. But yeah, congratulations to both of you who managed to get the perfect score.
Upon which I would like to announce my retirement, undefeated, as a perfect score. I will be leaving the world of... right? No? Okay, no, I'll keep going. We'll see. Maybe I can stay on top. I don't know.
100% record, says Alex. I'm going to shuffle. No pressure now. Well, don't worry. We're not going to be playing another round of MICRO-MUCKELL. I feel like generally it's worth playing once as a quick introduction. I will go 3, 2, another 3, 2, that's 10, 15, and 16. And we are now playing MICRO-MUCKELL, which is exactly the same, except this time we're working through 16 cards, not just 8. So you really probably won't be able to get it all on one single line. Again, you've still got 3 wild cards. Your longest scores triple, so 3 points for your longest words.
Nice.
Your second longest scores double, so 2 points. And every other word scores 1 point per letter in it. And stream elements reminds me, every 40 minutes, it's good to have a wee bit of a stretch. And there we go.
There you
go. Okay. Rightio. And let me... Beep, beep, beep. First letter of MICRO-MUCKELL is S or C.
Mm-hmm.
Those are both seem to be pretty useful letters, but I think I've got a slight preference.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool, says Alex. And wait, there we go. So next, we've got an N or an F. Hopefully we will never fail. And yeah, given that you know you probably are going to do at least 2 words, having multiple things to go back and forth between, I think, really opens the game up a wee bit.
Yep.
N or H? Well, I know how I now will place this. Because I was thinking with the C or the S, either way you can. Good. And Alex says, I need vowels. There you go. I or C. I'm going to go there. And this is cool. This is... Yep, Alex sees. I see. Do you see? S or D? S or D? Which one will you surely decide? How's your thing looking, Scott?
I'm working on something. If it doesn't work out, it'll... I'm playing a bit of a risk, but we'll see if it works out.
S or H? Okay, well... No prizes for guessing where I'm going to put the H based on how I started here. I'll lower them slightly. O or F? Is this a card that you've been dreaming of? No.
No.
Not for me either. Are you going to use a wild card, given that we are just about halfway through the game? O or F? If everyone's ready, the next one is O or C.
Wow.
Of course. I'm just going to...
A lot of O's.
There are. I mean...
But did we have one before? I don't remember now.
I could have a quick look. No, we only had 2 O's.
Okay. There's a lot of S's though. Okay.
Okay, we are now officially halfway through with 8 cards left to go.
All right.
O or H? Yep, that is a lot of O's. I will use
Put another one on chew.
one of these
Chew.
as a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, T or H? Yes. This is where I start to think about making a third word. It's suboptimal, but that's how it goes. That's how. A or G? A or G?
Well, let's use a wild one here.
It's an awkward game.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about making the best with what you're given. Is that your first wild, Scott?
Yes, but I know you're going to flip the letter that I'm using to replace it with.
R or L?
I was wrong. It's okay. I'm just going to very quickly look up to see if fish-like. Yes, fish-like is a single word. Oh, it's not hyphenated?
Nope. According to Collins, fish-line and fish-like are both valid words. Whereas Panic says, choose fish tacos. That could be what I'm working towards. And
more points if you make a sentence.
Oh.
You put that in the wrong
I'm
spot.
going to forgive myself that thing.
Yes, yeah. Because we discussed it, so I knew what you were trying to do. So
A or L? I am going to... That can be a wild card since... But it's still an awkward line underneath. I need to get 3 perfect letters. It's unlikely to happen. If everyone's ready, the next card is going to be I or B. Brilliant. I or B?
Don't like it.
It's brilliant for me.
All right, I guess we'll have to go with that.
It's bad for Scott.
Yeah.
And
it's not a disaster, but we'll see.
2 cards left. I feel like fish lip should be worse.
Fish lip. Oh no.
No.
I think I'm going to have to use a wild and hope that last. Oh, but then again, I still have a wild left. I've only used 2. So if the last one doesn't help, I can wild it up. So it's not too bad.
Oh, amazing. You're in a perfect spot, so you don't care. Because you've left yourself your 2 wilds.
Yep.
Okay, I've used a particular wild card for this one, and finally I'm hoping for an E. Will I get an E? And my camera here seems to have...
We haven't had one yet.
Come on, E.
One earlier. No.
That was unfortunate. Okay. In that case, I guess I will put that there, which means that the li something are completely worthless and they essentially get scrubbed out. Because you can scrub out things on the right, you can't scrub out things on the left.
Okay.
So my longest word, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, times 3 is 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, times 2 is 8, and 3. Everything else just scores at it is, so 26, 29. That seems reasonably respectable.
Okay. As long as we agree all my words are words, and my math is correct, I believe I'm at 35.
Congratulations. What are your words? Can you show them?
Sure. Let's see if you can see them. Snidely.
Very nice.
Noobs.
Yep.
I don't know if that's too colloquial or not. And then sought and ah.
Okay. Those are some good words, and you managed to get 7 letters, so that works well for you. Yeah, giving you that 21 points.
Right, and it was double for the second one, right? So it's 5.
Yep.
Times 2, and then 3, then 1.
That is all 100% correct.
Excellent. So I was hoping for that E. I was throwing things into new words, like that E in snidely or snide. Not a single one came up. I think it's all I could have done when I went with the I after the N, because I was thinking if an A had come up earlier, it leaves me with a snake or snack or snap, snapping, and I didn't. I went with the I, and I think I might have limited myself a little bit. I was going to go for sniff, but the F didn't come up until after I'd locked in that D. But definitely you get ideas, you think here's where it could go, and then it doesn't go that way, and then you have to replan. That's what I like about this.
Hi, Slivers. It's lovely to see you. I hope that you're generally well. And if anyone else was playing along, Alex or anyone else playing, let me know how you got on. Did you manage to beat both of us? Did you manage to beat me? Or even if you didn't manage to beat me, then there's no shame in that. And let's us... I mean, I have played a lot of these word games. And so, yeah, I'd be very much interested whether you're watching live or whether you're watching it after the fact. Let us know what words you managed to get. Alex managed to get Snyder, hoop or hood, lip, A and O. So that doesn't seem quite as good as yours, Scott. S-N-I-D-E-R. So that is 18 plus 8 plus 5. So that makes it 31 for Alex and 35 for Scott. So that means that Scott was the winner of that round. But congratulations, and
you roll. Thank you very much.
Especially if Alex had to pop away, well done on how well you managed to. And I think that it makes sense for us to have one last game of MICRO-MUCKELL if people are up for it.
Yeah,
Slivers,
absolutely.
or anyone else who's just popped in, if you need a quick rules refresher, let me know and I will be happy to do that. We are going through 16 cards. What do you have any thoughts on that game?
I like it.
You know, so for those who aren't aware, there is an LDEC design competition. I do talk about it currently on every stream that I do, but you know, it is finishing on the 31st of July. And so if you have any ideas for any games using the LDEC cards, then please enter them into the design competition. And there is quite a prize on offer. Mentorship and games, and also 100 Great British pounds worth of cash, which can be sent either via bank transfer or whatever the most convenient method is for. And hopefully, and of course, yes, whatever mechanics are yours, you're free to use them in other games. And if you want to use them in other things, then I will support you. And that's what one of the previous runners-up managed to do, Mark Stockton Pitt. And yeah, Alex said, I just thought of a reducing cards down to nothing game for the LDEC. That sounds really exciting. I would love to see what you come up with. Do you think that you might try out something, Scott? Try your hand at...
I thought about it because I did. I follow on the LDeck on Twitter, so I have seen the contest, and I looked at it. But then I'm thinking, you've got so many already that use this deck. I'm not sure what left you could do with it. So I'd
So
worry about
much.
reproduce
And
something you've
let
already
me
made.
also say that for the first 3 years, I was very insistent, don't use pen and paper. Whereas last year, one of the winners does kind of need pen and paper. And this year I've kind of said, you know what, if you need pen and paper, then go for it. And if you want to even use, I don't know, money, like just tokens, like pennies or something like that. Or
Common
if you,
components you can find around.
yeah, like if you can, if it's something that you're not sure if people will have, the more uncommon it is, the more of a big deal it is. Like, puts it this way, cubes are fine because they don't need to be cubes. If I go to my friend's house and they don't have any cubes, maybe they've got some dried up beans, we can still play it with dried up beans. And of course I will have cubes, of course I will have game components, but will my non-gamer friends have it? Will a non-gamer who wants to play this have it? But yeah, pen and paper, mobile phone with a timer, that's things that people will have. Alex says, you will need 1, 30 pennies, and 2, a copy of Twilight's Imperium 4. In all seriousness, like, if you... I would almost like to make things that use custom printable things as their own thing, but if you want to submit something like that, then go ahead. And I would but yeah, don't worry about being too similar. Even if you start with the same place, your own unique things are going to make it a unique execution. Anyway, let's crack on with this final game.
Yes, let's.
So, I or L, what will you start with? This is a tricky one.
I can do well as a beginning if you get an N, because there's a lot of words start with IN, right?
That's what I was thinking. I was also thinking IM.
Oh, that's true, because then the following letter will be a P or a B or another M, because the IM is the IN, except because of retrograde placing assimilation, it takes on the bilabial properties of the letter that follows it. Linguistics!
The next one is an I or a C. So do you choose another I to start a new thing, or have you gone LI, or?
I went with the L to start with, so...
Well, that might work out very nicely for you.
Yes, I'm going to try the LI.
Sticking with... Oh, Alex aims to spell linguistics.
I can see if I can get... I got 51 already.
Oh my gosh, look at how that's turning out. LIO. If we get, like, imagine if it was just a plain word like lioness or something.
Okay. Oh, that messes... Well, not so much. I was saying I got 51 points already, because starting my LI is Roman numerals for 51.
I did not get that, I'm afraid. Oh, look, we do have lion. It's like a lion in the Zion. So if you're really trying to spell linguistics, maybe you're doing fairly well. And hopefully you will never fail. Although if you really never failed, life wouldn't be as interesting, would it? N or H?
Uh-oh.
What's happened here now?
Okay. I think we're okay.
S or H? Insurmountable, constipated, constable, consume.
Incontinentia buttocks.
O or D? Oh dear. Ooh, I've got a good one.
Okay.
Thinking consortium, console.
Consonant.
S or C. Again, all the S's and all the C's, but still, this is quite a sexy card.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
S or G.
Oh my goodness.
All the S's. Consog.
I'm going to have to put in a wild just to make sure this goes where I want it to.
I think I am going to put one. We have 7 cards after this one, if anyone is wondering. We have just passed the halfway mark. And I am also going to put a wild over there. Oh, this...
Oh, you could have used that.
I could have. R or M. This is almost really maddening, I might say.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I'm sticking with my 2 words. We'll see how it goes.
Increment?
Well, that's a bit long. I'm thinking increase.
Yeah.
Or...
Okay, yeah.
Ooh.
Incredible.
E or M. Or you might just say it's edible.
Mm-hmm.
Like margarine. E or M. Next card is E or P. Increpitude? No. It's not a word. So.
Yeah. Console.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
We have 4 cards left, including this one, which is a D. And I do not have enough letters left for incredible.
Uh-oh.
Which is quite unfortunate.
You could put it on the end of console for consoled. That would finish it off. You wouldn't be able to extend that any further, but it would use it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I could put here because...
Increase, A-S-E. 3 letters left.
That is true.
That's probably best playing because you got 2 wilds left as well.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
Alex said the same thing for me.
Yeah, this looks like a good one for you.
T or L? T or L? That's life. It's what all the people say.
All right, I was going to do this. All I can do is try to finish my 3 words successfully. They're not as long as yours.
Next is... Ooh!
A. I can use that.
A or P? I mean, I do have a strong suspicion that I am going to, unless the last one is an E, I am going to have to wipe off most of this. So I have to pretend that that's an S. That uses all my wildcards. Exactly. So this is going to be a big thing. This is a particularly hard bit. S or X. Oh gosh. And there is
Well, I have to use my second wild card.
You only used 2 wild cards over the whole thing.
Yep.
That is...
I only got a pair of 6-letter words. I didn't get anything exciting like consoled. Trying to make it into a noun instead of a verb there.
Yeah, I don't think that... Oh.
I'm
just... No, that doesn't work. Just typing...
Incredix. Isn't it a character from Asterix and Obelix? Incredix.
Yep, I think I'm going to have to admit that the top line is just the word in and increment. No.
In cream.
No, that doesn't work. So yes, I don't think I know INC is an abbreviation for including. I don't know if that counts. It is in Collins English dictionary. No, it says a co-build, not as a proper word. So that is sad. So I managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is 24 plus 2. At least I still scored 26, which seems like a reasonable amount. Alex got a great lioness. Unfortunately, a great lionesses. Unfortunately, not grammatically correct, but lionesses. Wow, that was Lion.
There was a lot of S's in there.
ESSES. So that's 36 points.
Oh wow!
That. So that's what's that? Help me with the maths. Great. 36 plus 10 plus 1 is 47. I think that's it.
My!
It might be a new high score.
I cannot beat that. I have. Can we see that? I'm having trouble seeing it over my own page here. Oh, okay, it's all the way over there. That's why I can't see it. Okay, the lighting's not that good. Oh, that's one I just did. Here it is. Lichen, threat, and social.
Very
so they're
nice.
both 6 letters. So I assumed that one would count as my first longest, and the other would count as my second longest.
Yes,
yeah,
correct.
There's a tie. I'm not going to triple both of them. So I took 18 for lichen, just 4 points for fret, and 12 for social for 34.
So that's still pretty gosh darn good. It still would have been the winner of the last game.
If not for lionesses.
And just congratulations to Alex for getting lionesses. That is a fantastic word to manage to get. And so, that takes us to the end of the thing. I sometimes play a sort of bonus optional game where I suggest if you have the energy, then get all the words that you made and try to put them all together in some sort of short story. So I will say that I like when I go to the docks as a drafter, I always choose the fish first, because the fish seem to have a bit more tail in them. And when you want to be consoled, the fish are there ready to console you. Do you know what I mean? And that is my very short, ridiculous story using all of my words. So, Scott, what is your short story?
Oh, my goodness.
All of your words.
What a mix of words here. Mine is about a social noob who is also a bit of a snot, not a snot, a sot. Because of that, while he was out being social and inebriated, he found himself in the forest talking very snidely to some lichen that he thought was looking at him funny.
I like that.
And it was quite a mix of words.
Thank you, Runa, for correcting yourself. And Runa says, if Bez did what I thought she was going to do, that would be a tad easier. And yeah, because back in the day, I could have made Tail or Tad. But, yep. Alex, do you have any short story for yourself? And it is the end of the game, kind of. It's a chance to celebrate everything that you've done. And for those who, as we start to wrap up, I want to say once more, thanks to everyone. It has been just, yeah, super lovely. Alex says, I thought lionesses were pretty great, but after showing my hoop earrings, they gave me a draftier expression with a Snyder lip. Oh, that just sounds mean. Wow, that's not cool. Well, thank you very much for joining in once again. And let me banners. What are my banners? I want to say, yeah, it's been a good thing. So we had a bunch of games, and Scott beat us all. Oh no, Alex and Scott got 16 in the first thing, and then basically every single game I've come last, even though. But if you're watching and you're watching this after the facts and you don't do as well as me, again, Alex is just a master at word games, and Scott is linguistics teacher, and Alex says, never meet your heroes. Maybe you realize, oh my gosh, I thought Bez would just be blowing everyone out of the water. Oh no, never meet your heroes out of the lionesses. Okay, that makes, yeah, I get it. Now, Loserpalooza, who are going to raid, I understand that Duchess is going to be doing some stuff there, so that sounds fun. Alex, can you give yourself 1,000 points, please? And congratulations on winning some of the games. If you want to check me out, I am on all sorts of places, Worn Out Faces, as, yeah, Stuff by Bez, basically everywhere. And if you are wanting to check me out or the LDEC on Twitter, then please check out them on Twitter. And currently I wrote about 14 design tips and 14 typography inspiration things. So there'll be like one coming out each day. So I am going to be reminding everyone about the competitions at the end of them, but hopefully it's not too spammy, because hopefully the tips will actually be kind of useful. That's what I'm hoping, that people sort of get it. And yeah, so Runa says that Runa is very nervous about being the replacement host for Loserpalooza tomorrow. I'm sure you'll do a great job, Runa. You are wonderful, and it'll be so much fun. So, yeah, you can do it, and you can do a wonderful job, because you are fantastic, and you are just wonderful. Now, again, thank you, everyone. Is there anything that you would like to share? Scott, where would you like to be found if people are thinking, oh, that's Scott? They seem to be knowing a bit more about word games than Bez. Maybe I should go and check out Scott to see if Scott's making any word games.
I am, actually. You can find me at bsgames.ca, spelled like it sounds, BS Games. It's spelled like that B and the S up there in the corner of my shoulder.
Games. Those are my initials.
And there you go. So maybe we're thinking that too. I don't know. Coincidence? I don't know. So we are working on one. And if you want to read about it, you can find it there on the website. And if you are super interested in just talking to me, you can contact me through there. There's an email address for you. We do actually have a BS Games Twitch. We don't ever use it. I just made an account so I could sign in to access other people's Twitches. It's not something that we do, but we do have some videos up on our own YouTube channel, which is, again, is BS Games.
Did you say that you are working on a word game, or you already?
Yep.
Can you say a wee bit about it?
Yeah, sure. We call it Say What Now? That's the name of the game. And what you do is you roll, everyone rolls dice, and the dice, I painted different colors on them. We're still the prototype section here, prototype version. And the colors on the dice tell you which piles, which decks to draw the cards from, which have the words on them. Each one has a word. There's a nouns and verbs pile, there's an adjectives pile, and what we call small words, which would be like pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions. And then with whatever you get, you must use them all to create a phrase or a sentence from these random words. So there's a lot of nonsense that comes up, and you're like, this doesn't really make sense. But you can include there's little tokens that have punctuation and suffixes and things on them, like ly and y and s and apostrophe s, that you can use to make it fit a little bit better. And then everyone also has in their hands situation cards, which they will then look at the first player. They've created their sentence, and everyone will look at their phrase and check out their situations and go, where have I heard that phrase before? You have to pick one from their hand that best matches it. Then they all hand them in face down. They get shuffled. The first player gets to judge which one they feel best matches this phrase they've just created out of random words. It's
so
people playing
it's
the
kind
first,
of
yeah.
like a game of creativity and playing with the words, and then an apples to apples style matching bit at the end once you've done all of that.
Yes, very much so. And what's great is it is family friendly because there's no rude words in there or anything.
Unless you want to make it not family friendly. Presumably, this is the kind of game that if you were playing it with a rambunctious crowd and you wanted to get a little risky, you totally could.
Absolutely, all through innuendo. I did play practice round, like a playtest round at a restaurant one time. There's someone was having a little bit of a gaming meet, and we said, hey, did you want to try our game we made up? And this one woman we were playing with, every sentence she made was rude. And I don't know, but there's no rude words in the entire deck. I made sure of it. But just through innuendo and the way she put it together, she managed to, because that's the way she wanted to play. And we were all adults, so we were okay with that. So yeah, that level doesn't come from the game itself. It comes from the players and what experience they want to get out of it. And people create sentences. Like the first round, usually with people playing it the first time, will be like, I really don't know what I'm doing. I've got some words in a row. It doesn't make any sense at all. This is kind of silly. But then everyone else, as soon as they start putting in their situation cards, this sentence, which didn't seem to make any sense, it's absurd. But people are finding in the situations things that do match. And everyone's really surprised that, well, that is funny. That does kind of go with that one. Either it actually is or ironically fits with that one. So people very quickly go, okay, I see what's going on. By the time you've played two hands of it, everyone's right into it. So we're getting a lot of good feedback. So we're very much looking forward to seeing about getting that out there. It is pretty much done. We're not looking to self-publish this one. We've already self-published a game. And since my partner Bill and I both work full-time, it's too much work for us to self-publish another game while we're still promoting our first one. So we're looking for publishers who'd be interested in taking that for us and helping us out to develop that one.
No, that sounds fantastic. And, you know, I want to open it up to everyone. I see that I'm going to wait until Duchess actually goes live with Loserpalooza. I don't think that she has just yet, so I'll wait a couple of minutes. But I do want to say very much over to you. What are you up to? You can share, but only if you want to. So anything that you want to share. And while I was on Twitch just now, I noticed that 31 minutes ago, I got a new achievement, which says I streamed for over 1,000 hours in total now.
This week or, okay, in total, like since you started?
In total, yeah, ever.
Right.
No, there's not 1,000 hours in a week. Come on, Scott. Come on.
Just leave it on all day long. No, that is exciting though. That is a level.
Yeah, 1,000 hours. It's like the final level of that. It's called the Empire Business Level 3. And then the next one is reach 250 hours watched total. And I've got 7,938. So I'm a very, very, very far away from that. Honestly. Oh, no, wait. There's one for 2,000 hours total, I just noticed. Okay. So I'm only 50% away from that. I assume it's going to take me more than a year to get there. But thank you very much, Flo. It's like just over the... I did stream a lot over the lockdown and everything. And I am going to say that probably at some point I'm going to start streaming again. Part of me wants to say, you know what, I might start doing morning streaming, but not even stick to, before I did a sort of schedule to say I stream literally every day. And I might actually do it on a more ad hoc basis, kind of go back to it, but say, I'm not doing it every day. I'll do it 4 times a week, or maybe sometimes I'll do it 7 times a week. Sometimes I might, it'll just depend on what's going on. Because otherwise, I found myself, there were 1 or 2 times when I was wanting to do something in the morning and was starting to resent it, which you don't want to do. You want to make it something that you enjoy and you're looking forward to, and it's getting you to do things. But I want to say thank you very much, everyone who's been part of this journey with me, and thank you very much. And this was a really nice stream, a really nice kind of chilled out stream, just the 2 of us on screen, and Alex and Runa reading, which has become such a lovely thing every week, and Livers, and it's like just everyone, you're all lovely. And Runa, I hope you have a wonderful stream tomorrow with Losapalooza. Oh yeah, if people want to check out my streams for next week, then do. We are going to raid Losapalooza. Let me check to see if the Duchess has. Yep, Duchess seems no. Has Duchess not started yet? Wait. Can anyone confirm that Duchess hasn't started yet? This feels really weird. I might just raid anyway, so they have at least someone to watch, and then you can be there for when it starts. But yeah, I don't have anything more to say, and so I am, going to do the whole raiding Losapalooza. So Scott, do you have any messages for people? I think that for me, the most important thing is to have fun, be mindful, be kind to others, and enjoy yourself without imposing on the freedoms of others.
Those were the exact things that were running through my head. I cannot add to that. Those were exactly the things I was thinking as well. Like, those are perfect. I think those are a fantastic advice to everybody that I would share any opportunity I got. So I will go with that.
Well, for now, thank you so much. I am going to have to finish, and I am going to click on the raid button for them, and we will maybe go into their chat. So for now, all I've got to say is bye, 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 bye. This is goodbye. So bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, bye, panic. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, bye, Alex. Bye, bye, Scott.
Bye. I had fun again. I was glad I was here.
Bye, bye, Flo. And lots of love to you all. And bye, bye, Runa, if you're still there. And yeah, I think that is. Oh wait, is Duchess streaming on her thing? What's going on? Did Duchess just go live? I'm confused. Okay. Cancel. Raid Duchess 1105. Okay. We'll do that. Okay. So bye-bye again. Bye, 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 bye. This is goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. Now it's time to go. Bye-bye.